I just got Steam's new hardware. Sadly, it's not the Steam frame, but hopefully this will tie me over. The Steam controller is sold out pretty much everywhere right now, but somehow I got one, even in Australia. So today I want to chat about what it is, whether it's actually worth the hype, and most importantly, how well does it work with VR? If you're new here, I'm Naysy. I've been gaming for as long as I can remember and playing VR for over close to a decade. So when Valve drops new hardware that works with VR, I'm going to be interested. Now, this is predominantly a VR channel, so you might be wondering why I'm reviewing a regular gamepad. Valve didn't design this just for couch gaming. The Steam controller is part of a three-piece hardware family: the controller, the Steam machine, and the Steam frame. And whether or not you ever buy a Steam machine, this controller has some genuinely interesting stuff for VR users. First, it has IR lighting built in, which means when the Steam frame eventually launches, this controller can be tracked in a 3D space, which is a pretty big deal. You're not just bringing a gamepad into VR, you're also bringing a gamepad that the headset can actually see. And second, there's already a surprising number of VR games that work better with a gamepad, like racing sims or mods that don't have VR controller support. And third, interestingly, it works with the Apple Vision Pro via Bluetooth. Vision Pro recognizes both the gamepad inputs and the trackpad, which means one controller that works with flat screen, PC VR, standalone XR, all in one. All right, let's actually open this thing. Inside the box, you get the controller itself, a USB-C cable, and a quick start guide, and the Steam controller puck. And the puck is pretty interesting. It's both the wireless dongle that connects the controller to your PC and a magnetic charging dock. So you're not buying a charging stand separately, it just snaps right on and charges the controller. First impressions holding it, quality is fine. The size feels okay. Like, I have pretty tiny hands, and I saw some reviews saying that it won't work with tiny hands, but I think it's fine. It does feel a little heavy, but it feels more substantial than heavy, I guess. Like, I had no issues using this. Some reviewers say the quality felt cheap for a $99 controller, but for me, it's comfortably in the middle. Like, it's not premium, it's not cheap, it's just fine, but I don't know, maybe you want something better quality for the price. So let's talk about what actually makes this controller different from anything else in the market right now. The main thing is the trackpad. There are two of them on each side, and if you use the original 2015 Steam controller or the Steam Deck, you'll know what these are. But these are bigger, flatter, and the haptic feedback and much more improved than the original controller. They're essentially a trackpad you can use with your thumb, which means navigating desktop UI, menus, and strategy games from the couch is actually pretty easy and comfortable. Then there's the thumbsticks themselves. These use something called TMR, tunneling magnetor resistance, which means they supposedly never get drift. Like, traditional analog sticks use a physical contact point that wears down over time, whereas the TMR sticks use magnets, so there's no contact, which means there's no wear over time. And then you got the puck. On the surface, it just looks like a little dock, but it's actually doing two things at once. It's the 2.4 gigahertz wireless dongle that gives you a low latency connection to your PC, and it's magnetic charging station as well, which is pretty cool. Controller snaps onto it with a satisfying click, so there's no fumbling around for cable when you're done gaming. And for $99, you're getting the puck included, which I think adds to the quality. Now, I do want to preface that this is just a first impressions videos. I've only had this thing for a day, but I was very keen to get a video out. But how does it actually feel to game with? Well, honestly, really well. I tried it across a few different games and it just worked. There was no fiddling around, no setup. You just plug in the puck and it pairs pretty instantly after some updates. And when using it, it automatically opens the Steam big picture mode for easy navigation. And as a gamepad, it does its job. Move around in video games, press buttons and shoot. The only issue I did come across is that I had to do a text import in a game and I wasn't able to get anything to pop up to import text. So not a big deal, and this can probably be tweaked in the settings, but that's the only issue I had when using it with flat screen games. And when it comes to the trackpads, look, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a huge fan. I don't know if I'm gonna get hate for that, but they feel less intuitive than I expected. Now, I've not used the Steam Deck, so this technology is pretty new to me, and I get the advantage of it, that you can do things that you would with a mouse on a controller, but I found them really whack. I don't know. Like, obviously I need to spend more time tweaking the configuration, and I'll keep playing with it, but straight away I didn't click with it. But again, it's designed to be a mouse and it's a very different movement system. I know people are loving using them for strategy games, but at the same time, I don't know, I feel like a mouse is just gonna do it better. I don't know, tell me if I'm wrong. And then there's also the gyro aiming, and I use this in Cyberpunk 2077, and it works, but Cyberpunk is probably not the best game to showcase it. It felt very whack trying to aim with the controller, but I didn't think what else to test it in. But again, I think that's a feature that could work really well when pairing it with a VR headset or a VR game. And I would love to try and play around with it more and tweak it and see if I can get it working with some VR games. Now, as a VR person, the question I had was, does this actually do anything useful in VR right now? Or is it all just a promise for when the Steam frame eventually launches? But it turns out there's actually quite a bit you can do with it currently. The first thing I tried was virtual desktop with multi-screen setups. This is probably my favorite use case so far. If you're already gaming in VR with virtual desktop, sitting in a virtual environment with multiple monitors floating around you and having a wireless controller that just works is a pretty fantastic setup. There's no cables, no awkward keyboard, and you get to play on a giant screen. And you've got a proper couch gaming setup inside VR. And this worked really well for me. I also tested it with some native VR games, and there's something a lot of people I think don't realize is that there are a lot of VR games that probably work better with a gamepad than motion controllers. Things like racing sims or flight sims or even third-person stuff. And when you connect your controller, Steam actually tells you on the store page whether the controller is supported or not, or it'll flag if it's not designed for the controller. Like, I tested out the new Flat Out VR game and it worked perfectly straight away. I didn't need to configure anything, just plug and play. And then I thought I'd just try Little Nightmares to see what happened, and it kind of worked. Like, I could move around, but I could only like snap turn to the right. And then obviously there's a lot of interactive stuff which the controller just can't do. So I was just curious, but I wonder if you could tweak it to use the controller. But again, it's like, why would you? Kind of defeats the purpose of VR. But playing flat out with a controller, I think that's probably a preferred way to play, to be honest. So the takeaway is, when a VR game is built with controller support in mind, the controller slots right in. It just works straight away. Now, for anyone who hasn't dived into UEVR, it's a mod that lets you play a huge number of Unreal Engine flat screen games in VR. And a lot of them require a gamepad to play because they weren't designed for motion controls. And I think this is where the Steam controller really shines. If you're someone who plays modded VR titles like this is a strong use case. I literally tried the UEVR mod for the very first time because of this controller, and I think I'm definitely hooked now. Took some tinkering, but I played through some of Hogwarts Legacy. Now, some games do have 6-DoF controller support, but sometimes I just want to be lazy and chill out in my chair with the gamepad. I don't want to be swinging my arms around. So I think if you play a lot of UEVR mods, the Steam controller could be a good buy because it has that versatility of being able to tweak it and mod it and set it up exactly how you want. And then there's the Steam frame feature. I can't test the IR tracking yet, obviously, but the promise is that the controller will be tracked in a 3D space when paired with the frame. Valve shared that you can easily play 2D games with the frame completely standalone. So if you're already planning to buy a frame and play 2D games, getting this controller now means you've got the input device ready to go from day one, especially if stock is going to be a bit dicey. Getting one now could be worthwhile. So does it work for VR right now? Yes, more than I expected. It works well with virtual desktop, native VR games with controller support, and UEVR. But of course, an Xbox controller could probably just do the same thing. There's definitely some real use cases currently that you could use it for, and obviously more when the Steam frame lands. So, should you actually buy one? At $99, you probably want to compare it to the PlayStation 5 controller or the Xbox controllers because those are around $70, $80. But when it comes to the Steam controller, you're paying a premium for the trackpads and the drift-proof sticks and the puck. Whether that's worth it depends on whether you actually use those features, which is where this controller really earns its price tag for me, because the real hero behind everything I've talked about is the Steam input. That's Valve's mapping software, and it lets you customize basically every input on this controller. And you can build per game profiles and pull in community-made configurations with one click, and people who go deep with Steam input can do some incredible things. Honestly, I'm still learning the deeper stuff, but I know it's up the alley of a lot of people. But I guess that's the thing to understand about this controller. It's built for the tinkerers, so if you want a plug and play experience, an Xbox controller may be a better bet, whereas the Steam controller rewards the people who want to sit down, dig into the configuration, and build something tailored to how they play. And if that's not for you, this probably might not be the right controller for you. But if you are planning to get a Steam frame, this could be the controller for you, because this is going to be that input device for that ecosystem when playing 2D games, and getting it now means you're getting it for day one. It'd also be good if you play a lot of VR with virtual desktop or UEVR mods. The wireless flexibility and the trackpads and the gyro, they all add up to a controller that fits that kind of hybrid VR setup well. And it's also good if you game on your PC from a couch or your bed and you're into the idea of a controller that can do mouse style precision when you need it. And I recommend buying this if you are a tinkerer. The Steam input is very powerful, and this controller is the best way to get the most out of it. And of course, if you play a lot of competitive multiplayer shooters at a high level, you probably don't want a controller for that, dare I say. But final verdict on the Steam controller, is it perfect? I think for the right people it will be. All the people planning to buy the Steam frame or Steam machine. For me, to be honest, I'm not a tinkerer. I don't like fiddling around with settings, but I do like that if I do go down the rabbit hole of UEVR mods right now, I have a controller that can streamline that solution. Is it $99 well spent? Well, for me, I think I'm happy to spend that extra money for the quality and extra features over an Xbox controller, but your mileage will absolutely vary depending on what kind of game you are. But now, the big test for this controller is still ahead. The Steam frame. Whether the IR tracking and the 3D space stuff is promising, and of course I can't test it yet. So when the Steam frame does finally launch, I'll be revisiting it with this controller in a follow-up video to see if the full ecosystem actually delivers. And if you want to watch that, of course, make sure to subscribe. I cover VR and immersive tech every week. And if you've already picked up the Steam controller or are waiting for its delivery, let me know in the comments what you think, what you're going to use it for, and yeah, whether you think the tinkering stuff is a big aspect of this Steam controller, because I think that's where it really shines. Alright, thanks so much for watching this video. I'm very excited for the Steam frame, hence why I picked this up, but I'll see you in the next one. Bye!